him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Macamagab, it's time for the only news that matters. And Bob Daisley reflected on working with Black Sabbath on the Eternal Idols, saying that he didn't regret staying with the band, even though the experience itself was, exceptionally pleasant. Where in 1987, the Eternal Idols marked the beginning of Black Sabbath's Tony Martin era, which remains largely unknown despite the many brilliant songs that came out on it. Hot on the Heels of 7 Star, which was originally meant to be a Tony Iommi solo album, featured Glenn Hughes on lead vocals. The Riff Lord made an effort to regroup and breathe life into his band for the 3rd time. Although Martin ended up singing on the album's final cut, the Eternal Idols was originally recorded with vocalist Ray Gillen, while Bob Daisley jumped in as a hired gun of sorts to help with the songwriting process and record the bass tracks. Speaking to Rock Daydream Nation in a new published interview, Bob Daisley said, "I did Black Sabbath like around 1986 with Eric Singer, Ray Gillen, Tony Iommi, Jeff Nichols, and that was great. I had a great time doing it. They wanted me to join the band, but I was happy playing with Gary Moore. I don't regret it as doing sessions, but I did as sort of a one-time gig. That's how I did it." And Daisley recalls he had nothing scheduled with Moore at the time, and producer Jeff Glicksman, who worked on Moore's Victim of the Future album and Quarters of Power, my favorite Gary Moore album, as well as 7 Star, asked him to jump in on the Eternal Idol train. Asked if he thinks he made the right decision by sticking with Moore, Daisley noted how the management's questionable practices were also the reason behind Gillen's departure, made joining Sabbath as a permanent member less appealing. "I love the album that I did with Sabbath. I thought it was very underrated. It should have gotten more recognition, and there's a lot of people who say that. I love the album, loved the band, and I loved working with Tony Iommi, but I wasn't really happy with management and what was happening management-wise. That's why I didn't stay. It had nothing to do with the personality of the band, nothing to do with the music. Great band, great music, nice guys. I could have easily been happy, but the management situation wasn't good. I said, look, I'll do the album and I'll help Ray do the lyrics. It was fun to do, but it wasn't something I regretted not joining." In his latest New Year's greetings video, Tony Iommi revealed that the long-awaited Tony Martin era box set will finally be arriving sometime this May. And man, that's awesome. I can't wait. I've been dying for this Tony Martin box set. I've owned Eternal Idols all this time on vinyl, but I don't think it's going to be included in the box set since Warner Brothers owns it, but who knows, man? It'd be nice if they added Eternal Idols in the box set. If not, hey, I'm happy, man. I actually have them all on CD. I bought them all brand new, but I don't have on vinyl Headless Cross or Tie or Cross Purposes, Forbidden, I love most. I wasn't big on Forbidden. I liked Rusty Angel, a couple songs. And, and Cross Purposes, it was pretty good, man. But, man, Tire's my favorite, man. It used to be Eternal Idols. And, of course, I love what most people's favorite Tony Martin album is, Headless Cross. But, man, but going back to Eternal Idols, to me, was more, man, traditional. It wasn't really 70s Sabbath. It was a little geared toward the Ronnie era, but it was a little dirtier and less perfected, but still pretty perfect. You know, Eternal Idols is extremely underrated and just shows the brilliance of Bob Daisley. You know, I've come around with Bob Daisley because I used to like, you know, I question him because he lied in a Rainbow DVD with the whole E.T. thing. I ain't going to go into that. That's the past. Now, you know, looking back on what he did with Ozzy and Black Sabbath, the man is a genius. He's a great bass player, too. Amazing bass player, but those lyrics, especially with Ozzy, you know, swallowing colors of the sound I hear, am I just a crazy guy? That just popped into my head right now. All these killer lyrics he did on those first two Ozzy albums. Well, actually, I should say the first two Blizzard of Oz albums, because as time gone by, man, I'll give Bark at the Moon everything else, you know, the Ozzy Osbourne solo band. But man, to me, Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, that's a band, man. And yes, I'm not going to sit here and say Ozzy didn't contribute, you know, because I know a lot of you would love to say that. Ozzy didn't do anything, and, you know, well, yeah, these people did carry Ozzy, but Ozzy came up with melody lines. And, you know, even Bob Daisley said he did come up with some lyrics, and so did Don Airey really praised Ozzy during those years, you know, saying that he's a very talented guy, and he did come up with a lot of stuff. But besides that, man, when Bob Daisley wasn't involved in Ozzy, that's it, you know? What was the last thing he did with Ozzy? I think he did some of No More Tears, but I know he had a lot to do with No Rest for the Wicked and Down. And that's the best Ozzy with me, even though I'm not a big Ultimate Sin guy. But man, the first two, Bark at the Moon and No Rest for the Wicked, that's the best Ozzy. And Bob Daisley is all over those albums, you know? So, yeah, it's a bummer that he picked Gary Moore and that there was a lot of management problems with Tony at the time. And that he stuck with Gary. I guess he did the right move because, man, Eternal Idols was not promoted at all. At all. I didn't see the Shining video till I got online. It was never on MTV or nothing back then. They really didn't promote this album at all, and it flopped. Flopped bad, which is unfortunate. I think a lot of people that haven't given Eternal Idols a chance might be pleasantly surprised how amazing that album is. You know, I mean, woo, that entire, I mean, so, you know, I'm starting to feel like Eternal Idols is still the best. The entire. But I'll tell you, man, yeah, I don't think Black Sabbath has made a better album than Eternal Idols. You know, I know, Tyre, I said at the beginning of this episode is my favorite. No, right in the middle of this episode, it went back to Eternal Idols. And I will say, I like Eternal Idols more than Dehumanizer, more than anything that came out after. And I love Dehumanizer, by the way, but Eternal Idols is just fucking special to me. And I'm going to rank the songs. Yes, there's 9 songs on the album, and I'm going to rank them for you. All right, number 9. I don't hate it, but I like 8 of them more. Hard Life to Love. Pretty good song, man. Number 8, Born to Lose. I'd like it too, man, but yeah. I like 7 more. Scarlet Pimpernel, which is a little acoustic thing that I don't believe, maybe somebody can leave it in the comments below, that Tony Iommi has done an acoustic piece since Fluff on, there's a little tiny Too Late, Don't Start Too Late on Sabotage, but after that, this is the first acoustic number that Tony does, and I love it. I think it's really cool. All right, number 6. Man, I love all these songs. It's kind of hard doing it. Number 6, Nightmare, which was supposed to be a Nightmare on Elm Street, but Tony's management, fucked it up, and it wasn't on Nightmare on Elm Street. But Nightmare is a great song, and it's the only song on the album that features Ray Gillen, where you hear the laughs during a song. That was taken from the Ray Gillen demos. So on the official Eternal Idols, Ray Gillen does appear on Nightmare laughing. All right, at number 5, probably the heaviest song on this album, Lost Forever. Ripping, heavy, fast, killer track. Love it. All right, number 4, The Shining. I love this song. This is, this was a single. They made a video for it that I did not see back then. And I love this song. It's awesome at number 4. And number 3, Ancient Warrior, which I understand has never been played live. Wow, what a song. What a killer song. What a killer groove and heaviness. It's just amazing. Ancient Warrior. And number 2, Glory Ride. Oh, man. Let's take a chance. What a fucking vocal performance from Tony Martin. And, Ray Gillen did it great, too. I prefer the... if you all saw the interview I did with Tony Martin on this channel, I asked him, did they tell you to sing how Ray Gillen sang the demos? Because you sang it just like him. And he said, yep, they told me just go in there and do it just like that. And sure enough, man, it's amazing how well he did. And I love Glory Ride. So number 1 is the Eternal Idols, which is kind of like the song Black Sabbath, but in the 80s. The 80s version of Black Sabbath. It's dark and moody and slow, and Ray screaming his ass off. I mean, I'm sorry, Ray originally screaming his ass off, then Tony Martin taking over. Amazing. And that is my ranking of the Eternal Idols. What is your ranking? Leave it in the comments below. I would love to know. And, man, do you love Eternal Idols as much as me? I know most people would pick Headless Cross as the greatest Black Sabbath album. Hey, look, in the beginning of this show, I picked Tired. And I still think Tired. Tired is my second favorite. Eternal Idols, man. I'm back to thinking that's the best one. What do you all think? Leave it in the comments below. And thank you for watching The Only News That Matters. I really appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate you. I really do. And I hope you're subscribed to my channel. If not, please subscribe to my channel. Ring that little notification bell. And if you are subscribed to my channel, please look and see if you're still subscribed. Because some people have been complaining that they're getting unsubscribed without even doing it. So subscribe again, please, if you are unsubscribed. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.